This is Matt Lubers in Thomas And The Workmen. I play bass.
My name is Luke, and I play the saxophone.
My name is Gino, and I play guitar and do vocals.
My name is Matt. I play guitar and do vocals.
And I'm Thomas, and I play drums. We all went to the same college, except for Matt here at the end. He's kind of a newer addition, but it was originally us three here, me, Gino, and Matt, and our former bass player, Parr. And we were just kind of randomly jamming in the basement of a house in Arkansas. It just kind of happened.
I think one of the points when I really realized, like, this is more than just us kind of hanging out and jamming is when we, like, got to a point where we had, like, rehearsed songs with lyrics and everything. And I think one of those first songs that we were playing was Secrets, which we just released on a live album.
We know Matt through the Columbus music scene, and I met Matt at singing his band at a DIY venue in the basement of this house. The venue is called Misfit Manor. Great DIY space, and caught my ears right away, and then basically became really good friends with Matt, and we were just kind of hanging out, inviting each other to the shows, jamming here and there. So like when we did need to find another bass player, it was a very seamless, easy transition. Like we were never really worried about the band kind of going on a hiatus or missing certain opportunities, because it was kind of just like that. Picked up Matt, and here we are.
I say it's just really supportive. I mean, there's so many different venues to play and so many different musicians, and not even necessarily like bands that are put together. And so when there's a community of so many different musicians, everybody wants to hear what other people can offer. So I mean, even if you're a brand new band and you might only have a few friends, if you know some other musicians in town, they're going to want to see who you are, what you can do, and everybody just wants to see each other succeed. If it's in the local scene, if it's just on their like personal goal of just playing out the first time. So it's a little bit of everything. What we call it in the end is groove rock. So we base it a lot on what Thomas and what our bassist is doing, kind of really just laying a platform for everybody to really work on top of. So with two guitarists, these guys are trading between leads and rhythm, and then us, me on the horn, kind of doing this like extra stuff on top of it. So it's groove rock in the end, or alternative rock with a really like funky edge to it. So a lot of funk influence, a lot of blues influence.
But I think one of my favorite descriptions of our music is psychedelic Dave Matthews who raps.
So Matt and I are co-lead singers. We both have lead parts, and we go back and forth a lot, and starting to harmonize with each other too. But yeah, I do more of the choppier stuff. So I'm really influenced by like Anthony Kiedis of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Mac Miller, rest in peace, is one of my favorite rappers. So I kind of those are some artists that I listen to. I think just naturally it comes out that way.
I think Red Hot Chili Peppers is another one for me. And I also think that one that Gino and I share too is Jack Johnson. That was a big influence growing up, I know, and I think that comes out in a lot of our music too.
I think there's a few bands we all like the Marcus King band. It's like kind of like a big contemporary influence because he's incredible. And I think that's one of our strengths, is that it's a 5-piece band, so we all have very like different, unique music interests. I really like Snarky Puppy, which is a huge jazz fusion band. Then I also like some of the more stranger stuff. I like jazz, but I like the jazz fusion, the weird stuff. So I kind of bring that in and want to do like unique chord changes or like play unique things on top of stuff. Thomas really likes that old funk.
I'm all across the board. What's just cool about us is that we all have a ton of crossover, but I think that's because we're trading so much music. Like on the car ride up here, I was Shazamming the whole way. So yeah, I'm definitely more on the jazz side of things. But when I'm not playing my upright bass, I like Wolfpack. I try to bring some of that. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't mention that. Thought we all liked that.
Yeah. We missed that one.
Leaving it for you, man. I think a lot of it kind of happened just like jamming around either individually. I think a lot of that album that we released earlier this year, Speaking of Vernacular, I think that was songs that either Gino or I wrote kind of on our own and then brought to the band, and we kind of finished them and polished them all together. I know there were some other songs on there too, like Vernacular, where Gino and I had two separate ideas that we kind of Frankenstein together almost, and it ended up working really well. So I think that's one of our most fun songs to play, and we always, I think, get people grooving to that one for sure.
Because we had so many songs that we had been playing, and we were also such a new band, still learning what it's like to be a band and create and record too. So it was just a matter of taking everything we had and putting it into a studio album, and we came out with 12 songs, which, and you know, they were pretty long songs, so we thought it'd be a cool idea to split it in half. That way, you know, a listener can listen to kind of a smaller EP, maybe it's on a short ride to work, and then we'd be able to release that and then release something a little later. But yeah, so that was kind of our idea, just try it out pretty much, to see how people would react to the two-part.
A lot of the new stuff is it's kind of in the works. So we were fortunate to make friends with another band called Dry Reef, and they introduced us to a guy named Tyler Ripley, who has his own studio and his own label. So we're going to be working with Free Dive Records and Tyler Ripley over in Philadelphia on like a 7-song EP sometime in June 2020, I think is what we're aiming for.
That's the best kind of band playing the band. And definitely give them a follow. They're from Cleveland and they're playing tonight as well. Well dramatic. So super excited to be in the Grog Shoppe tonight. This is our first night in Cleveland. So yeah, thank you so much. Go Zips! Go Zips!